Hey, soul survivors, we're going to talk about 20 things that the narcissist struggles with or may have the inability to even achieve these. So, relationships can be difficult. We know about the lack of empathy, but they also have a really hard time with genuine self reflection, where they look at the things that they did wrong in the relationship. Self reflection is important to do so you can kind of change what needs to be changed, acknowledge some of your shortcomings, but they all will deflect blame onto others and resist taking responsibility for their actions, which can be quite damaging and toxic to a relationship. They have problems maintaining healthy, reciprocal relationships that can, instead of growing, they start to fall apart. They may struggle with forming these deep emotional connections that are meaningful to both parties. Narcissists often have a hard time accepting criticism, even if it's intended to be constructive. They may react defensively or dismissively just to protect their fragile self-esteem. Narcissists can find it difficult to genuinely celebrate other people's success without feeling envious or threatened. They often downplay another person's accomplishments to maintain that sense of superiority that they strive for. They also deal with long-term collaboration in a team setting that can be problematic for a narcissist, as they can prioritize their own interests over the group's goals. They may struggle with compromise and cooperation. Narcissists have a difficulty controlling impulsive behaviors, especially when their ego is threatened. This lack of self-control can lead to destructive actions and strained relationships. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness by narcissists. So if you guys have talked to your narcissist, if you've opened up, which is a strength and it's beautiful, the narcissist sees it as a weakness and they feel empowered by it. And sometimes they try to encourage your vulnerability to feel even more superior and empowered. They may resist showing their true selves or admitting vulnerability, fearing it might diminish their perceived power or superiority. So they don't like to open up, or if they do, they don't share their true selves. Genuine humility is a trait that narcissists often lack. While they may feign modesty at times, a consistent and authentic display of humility is usually challenging for them. Establishing and maintaining trust can be difficult for narcissists due to their tendencies to manipulate or exploit others for personal gain. Trust is based on reliability, honesty, reciprocity, which can be compromised in narcissistic relationships. So let's talk about 10 more. Admitting mistakes. They often struggle to admit when they are wrong. They may go to great lengths to avoid acknowledging errors or apologizing, as it may threaten their self-image of perfection, perceived perfection. And sometimes they do apologize, but it's not an authentic apology. It's not to change behavior. But narcissists also have a problem recognizing and respecting the personal boundaries of others. They may push boundaries to fill their own needs without considering the impact on others. And narcissists may be driven by a desire for success and admiration. Their motivation can be short-lived. They may struggle to maintain consistent effort over time, especially if they feel their efforts are not receiving sufficient praise or recognition. That's why in the love bombing stage, they go at it wholeheartedly and then they drop off if they don't get the intended reciprocity, or they just give up, they're burnt out, that the whole dynamics of the relationship get changed. And also authentic intimacy. They have a hard time establishing and maintaining genuine intimacy. It's not always sexual. And it can be challenging for narcissists. They may struggle with emotional intimacy and may prioritize their own needs and desires over their partners. And the narcissist can lack the patience required for long-term goals and may become frustrated if they do not achieve immediate success. That's why you see a lot of times they have that job shifting. This impatience can lead to impulsive decision-making. And I do want to note that sometimes they can keep long-term jobs, but a lot of times it might be a red flag, not always. But acts of true altruism, where individuals engage in selfless actions for the well-being of others without expecting anything in return, That's so difficult for a narcissist. They can question the motives of others engaging in such acts. They will feel defensive as if the person's trying to manipulate them, because if the narcissist does that, it's an act of manipulation. They usually do it, whether it's for how others view them, whatever their purpose, it is for self-gratification. Narcissists can struggle with accepting and appreciating diversity in others, as they may perceive differences as threats to their own sense of superiority. Also, maintaining long-term friendships, forming and maintaining lasting friendships sometimes can be challenging for narcissists. Their self-centered tendencies may lead them to prioritize their needs over the needs of their friends, resulting in strained relationships. So sometimes they can last for years, but it can be strained at times. And narcissists will have a difficulty accepting and integrating constructive feedback. Instead of using feedback as an opportunity for personal growth, they can perceive it as an attack on their self-esteem. And if you've ever been with a narcissist, that attack on the self-esteem will cause them to spiral, will cause them to discard, act out. So these are some things that the narcissist struggles with. What are some things that you've noticed with your person? One-on-ones are available. Topic requests are always welcome. Stay strong. We'll get through this one day at a time.